not so morning. Welcome into twitch.tv/iScreamUploads. My name is Graham D. Hi. And I'm joined by the man that we call Bib. I'll read Bib.
Good after morning. Well and truly after morning now. 3:20. I did think this afternoon before, because it's just been back-to-back meetings all day. I did think it's probably going to be a 3 p.m. And then I was like, oh, it's actually like 2 p.m. And then an hour and a half just gone.
Yeah.
Just disappeared.
Yep.
Never to be seen again.
Yep. I started the day thinking that we were going to have an early scoop, and it's 3:20. So, yeah, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Nice. Anyway, if you are in the stream, please do feel free to get involved, drop in and say hi, because if you don't know who we are, hi. My name is Graham. I'm joined by Bib. We are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true Ice Creamy fashion, this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, if we do say so ourselves. Anyway, we are live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. Nice. Ice Cream Uploads. Nice. Good English. Let's go. Where we go live each and every single weekday at 10 a.m. Ish.
Ish.
Ish. It's a little bit ish today. Yeah. So there you go. That's it. It's the
That's the end of the scoop.
That's it. Yeah. See you in a bit. Bye, boys. I was going to press the end slate there, but I thought, fuck, people watching this on demand will be like, oh, well, that was shit. No, we are going to bring you the biggest, the best, and breaking stories from the world of video games. We'll also give you our thoughts and impressions on those stories. If you're in the stream, please do feel free to give us your thoughts and impressions, and then we'll give you... No, then we want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. Yeah, nice. I keep fucking that up this week for some reason. It's because I tried to get clever and throw in. Not only we'll give you our thoughts and impressions, your thoughts and impressions, but we want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. Okay, we get it. There's lots of thoughts and impressions. Great, nice. Anyway, but please do feel free to get involved, because we are live now, and the live stream is turned into a podcast, a video on YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. That is a lot of places where I say over. It probably is over now, to be fair, because we're getting like 1,500 viewers a week.
Easy.
But 200,000 people have watched and listened to our podcast on demand. So please do feel free to get involved on behalf of those people that do watch and that do listen later on. Please feel free to get involved. Before we jump into any of that news, though, we are going to, as I mentioned, bring you the biggest, the best, and breaking stories. But before that, shout out to our friends at Astro, who provide us with these badass headsets. Let's go. Also, to our friends over at GT Mega that provide us with these badass seats too. You can use our codes !Astro and !GT Mega in the chat if you want to get any good stuff. All the good stuffs. Nice.
All the good stuffs.
Nice. I mean, for those of you that don't know, it was mentioned the other day actually by one of the guys in the community. If you don't know what discounts we can give you, we do have a section within our Discord that's like affiliate links and discount codes and stuff like that. So anytime we partner with someone, if you want Lego kits like this one behind me, actually, if you want lights and stuff to go in your Lego kits, we've got a partnership with Game of Bricks. Do feel free to get involved with that. We don't shout about that sort of stuff because we're not hard sales here on the channel. But if you want stuff saving, then we can help you. We got your back. Hashtag shill. Hashtag shill. Let's go. You are?
I said, who gives a fuck for a shield? Do you know what I mean? We're bringing the cold hard prices down for people.
It is what it is. We're saving people cash and earning cash at the same time. Everybody wins. Let's go. I watched yesterday's stream last night and caught the Star Wars reference. I was going to put it in Discord only for Bibi to call you out on it. I can't believe I did that. Wow. I mean, I'm happy enough with it, to be fair, because I know the difference. But I don't think I've ever made a verbal slip that significant about Star Wars in the past previously. I mean, mainly because Star Wars is infinitely better than Star Trek, which is okay, but in comparison, it's a piece of shit. I'm saying that because David's a massive Star Trek fan, by the way. But yes, Star Wars is much, much better. So that's the reason why I wouldn't get them mixed up, because, you know, Captain Steve on his USS Munterprise or whatever it's called, you know, yeah. So shout out to Nietzsche, who calls Kirk Steve, by the way. Let's go. Jumping into the chats, JMK was in nice and early. Good after morning, JMK. Mark Peter wants us 10 a.m.-ish. He knows. Pistol Mike, welcome in, dude. Welcome in. I've done that one. Watching on the road, not driving. Gonna have more internet issues than G? I don't think so. I will see that challenge. Cookies, welcome in. The power of the Schwartz. Hey, thanks. Thanks, mate. Also, Bibby called the score for the United game last night 2-2 with all the 3.5 goals. Oh, fuck.
I did.
You did?
I did call it. However, I did say that there'd be goals in each half, which there wasn't, unfortunately. But I did say there was going to be goals in there. So if I was a betting man, I would have gone with over 3.5 goals. And I did say that Rashford would score as well. Did he score last night?
He did. He did.
He did, yeah.
Scored
So I got
one.
2 out of 3. I'm giving you good things there.
Fucking hell, tips to Bib over here.
Ball.
Let's
I know
go.
Ball. Do you know what I mean? I know ball. When I see ball, I know ball. So come to me for all your betting tips.
Oh, says Bibby's in the SU studio. It's a lie. He's not. He's not there. And he's gone. Nice. He's back at home. Let's go. Okay, we do have a bunch of stories to jump through today. We're going to start off talking about Hogwarts Legacy, which is actually doing incredibly well sales-wise. I say actually, like that's a surprise. Obviously, it's a Warner Brothers lead title in the Harry Potter world that is being fueled by massive controversy. Surprise, surprise, controversy sells. As Hogwarts Legacy is its first week digital sales in Europe were 56%. 56% higher than Elden Ring's. That is an astronomical figure because Elden Ring had a very, very good launch. Let's just put it that way. So 56% higher than Elden Ring's. That's where we're kicking things off. We'll then talk about Ubisoft cancelling projects because it was working on too many at the same time, which is a headline I actually love because if you've played a Ubisoft game over the last 5 years, it stunk like they were working on too many games at the same time. So let's go. After that, Kojima confirms recording on Death Stranding 2 has begun. We'll talk about Marvel's Midnight Suns getting Venom DLC. And it's Friday, so we'll give you some exclamation mark FF.
Free game Friday.
Nice. Free game Friday. We'll tell you what games you can get free at the end of the show. Let's go. Nice. For now, though, babe.
Yes.
You said you had a little bit of a gander at a friend of the channel, Paul, who's having his last stream on Twitch today.
Yeah, massive shame. He's got another kid on the way. He has to move out of his stream room, but he just doesn't have the time. Obviously, that could come. I know that more than anybody at this moment in time. Graham obviously did quite a number of years ago. So your kids end up taking up all your time. He now has 2, or will have 2 small children. It's unfortunate, but he's packing it in. So he's doing a 12-hour stream today. So as of midnight tonight, there will be no Paul.
I want to just double check whether he has the underscore on Twitch or not. I can't remember. He does have the underscore.
Find out because that's exactly who we're going to raid after this.
I was just writing him a shout out. He does have the underscore on Twitch. It's a good job because I was like, I'm pretty sure he does, but I don't want to type an underscore at the end of Paul 2707 and it be irrelevant kind of thing. But shout out Paul Skadoosh. There we go. I mean, he's good people. He is very, very good people. He's having his last stream on Twitch, so it's never the end. For someone that's made it to Twitch Partner, that's had hundreds of people watching him consistently forever, his channel's had a little bit of a drop. His live's changed massively around it, but he'll be back. He'll be back. Do feel free to go and drop on him, though, if you don't mind, and give him a little bit of love. It would be very, very much appreciated. He is good people. Never the end, just temporary. Exactly. Especially when you've enjoyed so much success like he has. You'll get
friends with us, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? That success.
Yeah, exactly. Although I did actually throw him an invite, saying who again? He's called Paul2707_. He's playing Hogwarts Legacy. It's his last stream on Twitch right now, because his family circumstances changed, kids coming and so on. So he's having like a goodbye stream. So yeah, we're just giving him a bit of a shout out. We'll raid him at the end of the stream. So if you want to check him out and you can't be bothered typing things in, don't worry. We'll take you over there. It's fine. It's fine. He is playing Hogwarts Legacy, which is where we're going to kick things off right now. Bib.
Yes.
I assume you know because 1, you put the scoop together and had this as the headline story, and 2, I've already said it, but did you know that Hogwarts Legacy smashed it this week in sales?
I absolutely did, Graham.
Tom Ivan at VGC has the story. It says it's 56% higher than Elden Ring in its first week sale. Elden Wii. 56% higher than Elden Ring's first week sales. Warner's game has enjoyed a massive launch. So Hogwarts Legacy's first week digital sales in Europe were 56% higher than Elden Ring's. That's according to GI.biz, or GamesIndustry.biz head Chris Dring, who said the game enjoyed the biggest European launch outside of the FIFA and Call of Duty series since October 2018's Red Dead Redemption 2. Hogwarts Legacy and Elden Ring are both fantasy games released during the same month of the year. Elden Ring enjoyed a massive launch last February and would go on to become one of 2022's best-selling games. GI.biz recently reported that Hogwarts Legacy's one-week physical sales were 80% higher than Elden Ring's in the UK. Developed by Avalanche Software and published by Warner Bros. Games, Hogwarts Legacy is based on the Harry Potter series by the author. Let's just leave it there. Do you know what? I was going to leave it there because I thought it was going to go on some big rant about like the game being available multi-format, but I do actually see the stuff that I don't want us to shy away from talking about. I don't want us to shy away from talking about Hogwarts Legacy, just like I don't want us to shy away from talking about the controversy. So I'll read this bit. I've just seen it as this. The game is the subject of a boycott due to public comments from Rowling, J.K. Rowling, the author, perceived by many to be transphobic. For a full breakdown of the situation, we recommend this article by Glamour, which is a good read, by the way. We'll put the link to the VGC article if you want to read through this and then check out the Glamour article. Do feel free to do that. We're not going to do that. We've done that previously, so we'll just talk about the news at hand, which is that despite the controversy, Hogwarts Legacy has absolutely smashed it. The biggest selling non-FIFA or Call of Duty game in Europe since 2018 in 5 years. Basically the biggest selling game in 5 years. Thoughts?
We called this before the game even came out. Like, is this news to anyone that this was going to be as big as it is? It's an IP now that did the first book come out in like 99, 98?
Sorry, I'm ignoring you.
Okay.
Need you throwing down 5 subs. Oh, fuck it. I love that audio drop. It's one of my favourite ones. Nietzsche gifting 5 subs. J5, Enzo, Tig, Taylor, and Hornies all getting gifties. Thank you very much, Nietzsche. We got 5 on it. Nice.
Nietzsche is a bike.
What a guy. What a guy. Sorry, babe. Before, Nietzsche rudely interrupted with his generosity.
Yes.
You were saying?
Yeah. Again, is this news to anyone that a Harry Potter game is as big as it is? And I know that comes with a small caveat in the fact that we've had them before. They have been quite popular, but this is going to be the same formula that people have been saying about having an open world Pokemon game. I think it's quite easy to be able to say, oh, well, we're going to create a Harry Potter game that's a full-on RPG and you get to go around Hogwarts. I mean, it doesn't have Quidditch. It doesn't have that in it, which people are saying there's definitely hints in there. Yeah, there's definitely hints in there that you're going to get it at some point. But it genuinely, like, this is a question for the floor. Is anybody surprised that this game is doing as well as it is? Because I do not think so. It's an IP that's been going for, we'll call it near 25 years. I've got a feeling the books started in like 98, 99, and the first film was like 2001. So there's a bit of overlap there, but the IP itself has been going for 25 years. A lot of people who are playing this now are people who've grown up loving Harry Potter. There's a lot of circumstances going around it by obviously the author being a massive twat, but ultimately people want to play video games as an escapism, these people have probably been waiting for a Harry Potter game their entire lives to be like this. They'll take the rough with the smooth. I think boycotting the game is absolutely everybody's prerogative if they want to do that. But the people who aren't are clearly enjoying themselves because this is smashing goals set, not just by any game, Elden Ring.
I know.
Like, I didn't think that these kind of sales, these records would be broken that quick. But then again, if something like that were going to happen, it's probably going to be something like Harry Potter that people have such a massive love for.
Just going to stop for a second. Nietzsche says, sorry, not sorry for the subs. And then says, I know it's windy outside, but I didn't think Bibby ever left the house. What? Does Bibby look windswept? Is that what we're saying? Yeah, there we go. Nice. David says, as I quoted before, controversy creates cash. Yeah, it's the hate. Yeah, I thought so. So controversy does create cash. It does. And 56% more than Elden Ring. So whatever Elden Ring sold, chop it in half and throw it back on top with a couple of extra percentage as well. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Just bullshit, mate. Bullshit, mate. By the way, Nietzsche, we playing games in the morning, yeah? You bullshit, mate. Nice. So yeah, Hogwarts Legacy's first week digital sales smashed it. I mean, it's not a surprise. It's definitely not a surprise. Also, I'm disappointed that no one's yet pointed out that the discussing now says Hogwarts Legacy smashes Elden's Ring. Disappointed that no one's seen that just yet. God damn. But yeah, sorry.
Obviously, I wouldn't have seen it, but I appreciate it.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
If it was in the studio, you'd have been getting a big high five now.
So yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Few games could smash Elden Ring's launch. To that extent. Obviously, you say, "Oh, a Call of Duty or a FIFA or a massive first-party title." So since 2018, we've had Spider-Man, we've had Spider-Man Miles Morales, we've had a God of War game, we've had Horizon games. Was Horizon before Spider-Man? I think we've had 2 Horizon games. And you think, oh, first-party games, shit money, so they're going to take it easy. Then you think, actually, no, first-parties only sell on PlayStation. I mean, do they have them on Xbox? I don't even know. I can't even remember. Maybe they do. Ooh. Sorry, Tito. You probably didn't hear this because you're in a car, but still. So yeah, okay, you're limited to one console. Yes, 20 million sales is kind of 10 to 20 million. Somewhere in that ballpark is big numbers. That's what first-party games tend to do, but not necessarily in the launch week. They do sell for a long period, though. This, however, sells on PC, sells on PlayStation, and sells on Xbox. The PS4 version is delayed, right? It's not out at the same time. That's still to come, I believe. But Xbox Series and One consoles both had it, because that's how Xbox works, you know. It's an inferior system operating across 2 generations. It's good. Okay, fine.
Have you? I don't think you've put that fucking fishing rod out all week.
No bites. Keep going. So to outsell all first-party titles, it does make sense that it is a third-party title, because the 2 titles that have done that are third parties, with it being FIFA and Call of Duty. But these are annual releases that people just churn through. Even if you have a terrible year, your FIFA and your Call of Duty is going to sell. So seeing something that's released once in a blue moon, or first time ever in terms of Avalanche developed Harry Potter games, see it selling through so well, even though it's Harry Potter, still surprises me. So it, on the one hand, I'm not surprised because it's Harry Potter, but on the other hand, from what's essentially not a new IP, but a new direction for an IP, seeing that being so successful does surprise me. But then when you add in the controversy, it doesn't. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, what we said?
I do think there's another element to this, though. Like, we talk about Call of Duty. Fucking hell, size of this FIFA. Moth. These are 2 games that only appeal to one demographic of people. People who enjoy first-person shooters and people who enjoy football. It doesn't transcend anything else. It transcends platforms, obviously, because they're available on everything, pretty much. But the fact that this Harry Potter, like a game like Harry Potter, is based on people who enjoy books and people who enjoy watching the films. I mean, the films aren't just Harry Potter ones. What's the other one? Is it Wizarding Excellence, or I don't know?
Fantastic Beasts.
The
Wizarding World. I can't remember his name, but yeah, the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them series.
They have a lot of stock in these. I mean, I don't think they've ever done a TV series. Correct me if I'm wrong. Again, I have nothing to do with Harry Potter. Like I've no idea, but like it's a broad space for people to be able to enjoy this IP. Like people who have watched the films or read the books might not necessarily have, ever been interested in playing video games, but this could have been a system seller for them. They could have been the people who were. In fact, I've got one example. One of my closest friends literally bought an Xbox just to be able to play this game. Like having something like Harry Potter transcends just being a gamer. You're enjoying the experience because it's the thing that you've always wanted. You've wanted to be part. You've wanted to go around Hogwarts. This is the first experience that you could probably have in an open world area. Like we've had Harry Potter games before, but they've been very linear. It's like go here, collect this, blah blah.
Or
blah.
Lego,
This,
which
yeah,
only scratches so much of your itch. I definitely agree with what you're saying there, 100%. You've got that convergence of 20 years of films, 30 years of books, all these different multimedia mainstream, and that's the key thing, mainstream platforms converging in. It's like getting that Pokemon Go. It's going back to that 25, 30 years of Pokemon with just the 151 Pokemon at the beginning. Obviously, Pokemon Go dropped off. Yeah, exactly. Huge.
But it didn't drop off forever, though.
It was like 3-4 years.
A long time. Like, it was everybody's... Like, people are probably too embarrassed to say that they were playing it now. I mean, but at the time, there was people who was literally... Like, you was going out for just specifically to go for walks to be able to catch the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like,
we went out for specific travels as well, because when there was that Pokemap, you could see different Pokemon. They had what they call nests. So you'd get like, oh, my local park is a Pidgey nest. And then on Thursday, it'd update and it's now a Squirtle nest. And you're like, oh shit, I need some Squirtle candies to get my Blastoise kind of thing. And there's a place halfway to Lee called Pennington Flash, which is a really nice like lake sort of country-ish sort of nice place to go get an ice cream and so on. Fuck the lake and the ice creams and all that sort of shit. Not lake from our chat, lake. We didn't mean you. Chill out, mate. It was fuck that. There's a Pikachu nest up there and I need candies to get Raichu. And this was the early days when Pikachu was like rare as feck. So we'd keep going up to Pennington Flash just to walk around to find Pikachus. And it's like, oh, we're tired now. Yeah, but I only need 3 more. So, okay, we'll keep doing laps until they pop back up again.
Well, I imagine like Chloe's probably never watched it, has she? She's never watched Pokemon. She's way too old. Oh, is she? She's gone back and watched them.
Well, they I don't know if they still are, but I mean, she's not interested now. She went through that. Oh, this was great. I'm too cool for it now. But we went on. We watched through every episode that was available on Netflix. So it was like it was Kanto episodes. So first 151 Pokemon episodes.
I mean, that's sort of seasons, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
That's what it was worth watching.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fantastic that she's been able to experience it. I mean, it wouldn't have been in its pomp. I mean, obviously Pokemon is still fucking ridiculously huge, especially with the games and things. But I don't know whether or not the TV series is as popular as it was. But back in like the late '90s and early 2000s, genuinely everything was just Pokemon.
Sorry, just interrupting. I know. I mean, just going on a little bit of a tangent. You're saying I don't know about how popular it is. It was just, I think it was in January, early January or end of December. It was like after, spoilers, by the way, for Pokemon fans that may care. We'll get you back in about 30 seconds. After 25 years of trying, Ash finally won like everything and finally became a Pokemon master. So they wrapped up Ash's storyline and Pikachu's storyline, and then they're now going to start with someone else. The rumors are that he's going to be like the overlooking dude, the older dude that comes in and helps this new youngling on their way to be a Pokemon master kind of thing, which I kind of wish I'd have been in there. There was some huge episodes they were saying that where like it was basically 4 episodes were for like 2 fights in the fucking Pokemon League, which was like full on build up. But then there was the bits where you'd see Butterfree from like season 1, his Butterfree that has a little bow tie and shit like that, and his Charizard, and there was like full on like fucking crying moments. I've not seen it, but I wish I had done so. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, babe. Back to you.
I mean, stuff like that is genuinely. Who would have thought 25 years later we're still talking about Pokemon 151? I genuinely don't think that they had this. I mean, they would have loved to. That would have been the ideal. But to think that it has the mainstay that it does now, I mean, I don't. Again, I'm just talking as a 32-year-old bloke that has the affinity with the original set, but I imagine there's probably kids now that are absolutely buzzing at the fact that there's still new Pokemon coming out. I could not tell you after maybe 250 what any of the new ones are. I don't play any of the new games. I've got interest in playing them, but I haven't.
They're
So I
irrelevant.
genuinely have no idea.
Sorry, I just had a bit of truth stuck in my throat then. They're irrelevant. They are.
But that's it. Like if I was watching the later seasons or the current seasons that are just going on now, and he was throwing out all these Pokemon, I'd just be like, I'm happy for you, bro. Like, I don't know who any of these guys are. Like, I'm happy that you've got here, but yeah, the Butterfree coming out, that'd be great. Put a Pikachu jumping out, that'd be fantastic. But like, I don't know what the fuck that is.
Even though that says it though, we're talking about the fact that the oldies are coming back. It's like a greatest hits tour. Yeah, I'm up for that. That's like S Club just announcing they're back on tour kind of thing. Yeah, I'll see some S Club, but whoever,
Not at Butland. S Club 2.
Yeah, whoever is the current knockoff pop band, nah, I'm not interested, mate. It's like that. But like, they lost the inspiration. I said this before, like you'd get Charizard, Fire Dragon, this, that, and the other. But then they'd done Fire Dragons and Fire Dogs and Water Turtles. So they were just like, Sunglassosaurus. Yeah. Nah. Did you just pick sunglasses because it was on the table next to you? No. it was either that or Porridge Bolian. Have you got a porridge bowl next to you? No. No.
Literally, I just told them. I mean, they did well enough to be able to find enough names for the Pokemon in the first place, but I imagine they're just drawing any old shit now and just thinking of whatever they can potentially get their hands on. But yeah, I mean, again, Ash, pleased for you, bro. I'm happy that you got all the way to the end. And
finally, it took 25 years. Fucking hell. God.
I know.
Although he's like, what, 10 years old? Like JMK says, 25 years in there. You should be 35. Fucking still 10 years old, 25 years later. Fucking, I mean, I'd be like
Simpson. It's still 11, isn't it?
I'll keep losing. They never made a Pokemon called Giraffe Snake. No, but they did make a Pokemon called Giraffarig, which, if you spell its name backwards, is Giraffarig. It's like we called Ekans backwards. Ekans because it's snake backwards. It's like, okay, well, that's cool. Can we do that again with giraffe? No, because it's just frig. Oh, fuck it. Giraffarig it is then. Okay, fine. That's close enough. It'll do. Nice. It's like they're taking the same ideas but kind of making it same. Giraffle. Not giraffe. Giraffle snake. I apologise. Giraffle snake. There we go. It's all right. That's what we call Beans. He's a giraffle snake. He wins all the giraffles around here, like he did the other day when he got 485,000 sprinkles or whatever it was. Woo!
I love that.
Madness. 12 says hi, babe. Hi, 12. He also said
hey, 12.
Exclamation mark moth. To which Tito even? Sorry, Nietzsche. Fucking hell. Sorry, Nietzsche. Woof. To which Nietzsche responded, exclamation mark, goth. Fucking hell, look at the size of that goth. We need one of them making up. Get like a full-on goth. Fucking hell. Look at the size of that goth. Nice. Teachio. This is when you guys both join forces and go into education. Teachio. In Spain.
Fuck learning anything off them two dimwits, do you know what
I mean, do you know what? Fair play if you do. you needed it. If you learn anything off of TDO and Nietzsche put together, you needed the education. Oh, shit. Tito's here after all. Wow. Wow, I just got mistaken for Legoth. I wish. Currently on 340.7k sprinkles, thanks to the 3 predictions I won. Ooh, how much were you up then on that day alone, JMK? They just ripped off gargoyles with Goliath's evil clone called Tylog. Is that a thing, or are you just playing his name backwards? Because if that's an actual thing, yikes. I only had about 210k before. Sheesh, 130k more. You can get in the fucking sea and take Beans with you. Okay, on that bombshell, it's an actual thing. Wow, that's tragic. Oh, let's just keep calling things backwards. It's like that. On the subject of Harry Potter, as we're wrapping it up, it's like Tom Marvolo Riddle spells "I am Lord Voldemort." It's like, oh, look at that! Ooh, didn't see that coming. I mean, after the first film, where there's a mirror called Erised, which is the word desire backwards, this is becoming the same thing over and over and over again. But at least that was slightly different, and she didn't do it much more after that in the books. Whereas Pokemon are going, fuck it, should we just call something the name backwards again? Yeah, nice, great, let's go. But Despite all of those flawed ideas that Pokemon had. Not Harry Potter, because, you know, we're talking about them instead. You know, tangents. It exists on this program. Allow it. Harry Potter didn't have any mistakes. Not in its launch week anyway. 56% more than Elden Ring, which is an absolute astronomical figure. And you know what? Fair play to the devs as well, because with everything that was going on around Hogwarts Legacy, and there was questionable PR practices as well, I must say this. So there is lots of reports of outlets like big outlets as well, like your Kotakus and stuff like that, that were openly critical of JFK Rowling. No, that's someone else. JK Rowling and her transphobic views that didn't actually get any review copies sent through to them. I've not spoken to anyone. I've not seen if there's an official response to this or what, but it read like Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk was a fucking clusterfuck. It was. So they didn't give people review copies, and they only give them one, and they only give them a PC copy. They wouldn't give them console copies because it was a clusterfuck. So it looked like this was going that way, but fair play to the development teams at Avalanche. They have made a game that is phenomenal. It looks great. It plays great. They have done very, very well. And I do feel sorry for those that their hard work, for a lot of people, has been overshadowed by an absolute dickhead. Because the game and the storylines in it so far that I've played, and from hearing everyone else's, are incredible. So
I'm happy that you're enjoying an RPG, Graham, because I feel like you needed this. I feel like you needed something else that alongside PUBG that you can just get lost in, and I feel like this might be the gateway now. I feel like, I'm not saying that you're going to end up fucking playing Skyrim. I don't believe that for a second. However, I believe as an RPG that this might be a very small gateway into enjoying something other than a battle royale.
No, I've always been open to single player action RPGs. Always, be it Last of Us, be it Jedi Fallen Orders, be it whatever. Spider-Man's always been a big fan of these AAA sort of experiences. Less so in fantasy, in terms of like elves, orcs, longbows, shields, crossbows. Nah, that's hashtag baby game. Give me an AR with a hollow sight and a red dot. Yes, please. That's my sort of thing. But like, so that's where like State of Decays and things like that, and hopefully if it turns into a thing the day before, those keep my attention, because that's more
Dead Island. Coming up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But this has some of that stuff, but because the magic is like wand based and it's not about shields and medieval magic, it's more my kind of thing. Obviously it's 1800s or early 1900s or whatever it is that it's set in, so it's not nowadays, but yeah, there's enough that's close to now that keeps me interested. So yeah.
Let's not let the facts get in the way of a good story here, Graham.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Yeah. J.K. Rowling is secretly Fred Durst. The clue is in the plain is in plain sight. Just keep rolling. No. Sometimes David hits the nail on the head.
Oh God, I feel sick after hearing that.
Yikes. Although he did smash it the other day. By the way, we were streaming on Wednesday with Code Red Esports. So we'll wrap up the Harry Potter story here. It smashed it. It smashed Elden Ring. Story gone. Nice. But David did smash it the other day because we were streaming with Code Red. And I was like, we need an audio bit. And sang it out on stream. And before the stream had ended, within half an hour probably, David came back with an audio command, which has now been replaced. He did it, and I told him it wasn't quite right. It needed amending, and he went and amended it again, and it's now here. So listen to this. Nice. Yeah. What is it good for? PUBG console esports. Sing it again. Nice. So yeah, if you want an audio drop on stream, yeah, you just need to do it in a time when David's around, because David will clip it for you, as 12 found out the other week. If you don't know who 12 is, then oh, too soon. No, I'll have to do it again. Shouting out 12 as well, by the way, because we will be streaming this Sunday. I will be streaming this Sunday morning from 10 till 12 with 12. Uncle Pap. Nice. So this Sunday I'll be streaming from 10 till 12. joining 12 Head as he's many hours into his 24-hour stream, raising money for cystic fibrosis charities. So I say charities. He's starting about 8 p.m. Saturday evening.
Okay.
After doing a full shift, getting up at like 3 a.m. Saturday morning. So he will have been up. I think he said something like he'll have been up about 18 hours before he starts his 24-hour stream.
This is not going to go well. Please make sure that you fucking look after yourself. I fell apart and I had a good night's sleep the night before. So please make sure you look after yourself for that because it's not going to go well for you.
Yeah. The only thing I will say is if you can't manage it, don't manage it. It's fine. You'll have smashed whatever you needed to do within 5 hours. If your body is taking its toll, don't feel bad because we will be there to make you feel bad the week after. It's fine. Nice.
Remember, we can't clip anything if your stream's off. Remember that.
Nice. Okay, next story we'll jump into is this one. Nice. AKSHAY PATEL at The Gamer says Ubisoft cancels projects because it was working on too many at the same time. Ubisoft doesn't want its fingers in too many pies, it seems. So a recent strategic shift at Ubisoft saw the cancellation of 3 announced projects along with some delays. Now, in a recent earning call, CEO Yves Guillemot, which is how you have to pronounce it, just like that football club from France. What's that one called, Bib?
Olympique Lyon.
Yeah, that one. Nice. Yves Guillemot revealed that it was done because the studio was working on too many projects at once. We're proper professional. You'll love to see it. As reported...
UK's #1 video game podcast right here.
As reported by IGN... Guillemot said, quote, "We cancelled a few games because we needed to make space for other games that are in development in the company, and that's really helping all the other games that are progressing well," end quote. He now feels that Ubisoft has the right amount of games in development and looks to launch several of them by 2024. How many times do you want to mention his name? Guillemot added that the number of games being worked on will go down even further in the next 20 months to make way for the titles currently in development. Quote, "Having said that, we know that many of those games are also going to have post-launch content, and this will take a certain number of teams and talents to actually create that content," Guillemot added. Ubisoft shut servers for many of its older games back in 2021 and announced the shuttering of online services for around 15 titles in July 2022. Now, we can probably expect more cuts in the near future. We don't need to go through any more. We get the idea. There was a lot of games coming out from Ubisoft, and I can name every one of them which was good. Are you ready? Okay, that was the entire list. Great. No, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, to be fair, has a lot of redeeming qualities around it. It has some failures, but it has a lot of redeeming qualities. But they did release a shit ton of games around that just didn't need to be released, that didn't do anything, that absolutely failed, dropped off the earth, and there's others that look like they might do that too. X-Defiant, we're looking at you. Hey. But they're learning. They are learning. So I'm actually, despite Ubisoft failing a lot recently, Ubisoft are a company that I had a lot of respect for because they managed to build themselves up to a level where they could compete with your PlayStations and your Xboxes and stuff like that. They were the biggest developer in Europe until CD Projekt Red dropped the ball with Cyberpunk. And rightly so. But they've dropped off, not only because the likes of CD Projekt have smashed it with The Witcher and on TV and with CD Projekt and building out a bigger lore around the Witcher franchise and so on. It's not only down to their success, but Ubisoft were continuously dropping the ball. And that is because, I mean, they were working on too many things. If you're juggling too many things, you're going to drop some of them. So it makes sense. Too many fingers, too many pies. What are your thoughts, babe?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I need to elaborate anymore on that. It's a shame because they obviously do have a lot of stock still, and they are still working on some games. But I feel like they just maybe need to take some time off with the likes of Assassin's Creed. Maybe need to take some time off with the likes of Far Cry. We've obviously got some mobile games with The Division coming through at some point soon, and X-Defiant. Like this. I think maybe I feel like they need to go back to the drawing board. That's ultimately what they know what sells, and they know what they are going to get a shit ton of money from. But I feel like sometimes with their games, they're looking at profit over quality, and I don't think that's done them very well recently, do you?
Nah, it's definitely chasing profit over quality, but it's also sometimes they try to bring quality to chase the profit. It's the same thing. It's the same problem but a different angle. Sometimes they go, oh, let's open a live service to milk shitloads of cash. No, okay, you're clearly just trying to milk cash. We're not interested. Oh, okay, well, we'll cancel that game then. Instead, let's look at areas that are hugely successful for their quality and try do the exact same thing. No, because you're only doing that because it's hugely successful, not because of its quality. You want the success, so you're making Hyperscape, and it's crap. It's hyper crap. We're not interested. Okay.
That had potential though. That genuinely had potential, but it's whether or not they want to stay in the fight. No pun intended. And the game had potential. I just don't think that they knew what to do with it. I think that's the difference.
I agree with you. The game did have potential in terms of it was a cool take on Battle Royale. It lost me because of the verticality, the going up buildings and coming down buildings with kind of like fucking almost like ascendery launch paddy sort of stuff. It was trying to get the erratic play that Fortnite has, but because Fortnite is construction based, it's a steady advance. You don't just suddenly go, "Bop, I'm in the sky" because I hit a fucking kind of thing. People are trying to get people off the ground for verticality in video games without just copying Fortnite's building, but in doing that, people usually go, "Fuck it, let's just get him in the air." And it's like, no, because it's the steady rise of 1, 2, 3 ramps turn, 1, 2, 3 ramps turn. Like it's that the predictability and all of it that comes with Fortnite that is what makes it cool, because you either get the predictability of actually it's not too much strain on the brain, or the unpredictability of how the fuck has that guy just built the Empire State Building in 3 seconds? What the fuck? Where did that come from? Whereas you don't have to worry about that if you're just jumping on an ascender or sending yourself through a teleporter thing up onto the roof or something, which then was compounded by that, okay, you've survived all of that, and then you get to the end of the game and it's not just kill everyone to win, which is the simplest message in video games. It's, yeah, you get a crown. And then when you get the crown, people can see that you've got the crown and they're going to come and take the crown off you. So you become the enemy of everyone else in the game. So as long as you keep the crown and kill people, you're good, which then you start to get like metagaming of, well, don't bother with the crown then. Just TPP, third party, and let someone else keep hold of the crown until the very last minute. And some good stuff.
So many games try the Battle Royale stuff, though, aren't we? I mean, they've tried to change the formula, which is fair play. Like, we've got military shooters like PUBG. We've got fantasy shooters like Spellbreak. We've got... I don't even know what you put Fortnite in. Like, it's just a bit batshit mental. You've obviously got Warzone, which is starting to get a new lease of life in there. Like, we've got different variants of Battle Royale, and there's hundreds more. I am missing out so many Battle Royales at this point. I think their verticality, Apex Legends, that's very similar. It's the challenge for both of those games is to go maybe as high as possible, and try and get the advantage with height. I don't know. I feel like it was too on the nose, and I don't think that they knew what to do with it.
Yeah,
which is ultimately a shame.
It was, we want to copy some stuff directly, and we're happy with that. We'll take the Ascender element out of Apex. Jobs are good one. But we don't want to copy things exactly. So we'll make it a video game digital space. And rather than having a circle that closes in that people understand, we will have it be weird grid things that close in, but that you can be in, but then disappear and then in. And it was like, the thing with Battle Royale is the zone, whether it's a circle, whether it's a square, whether it's the blue, whether it's the gas or whatever. Just closes in on you. Jobs are good one. But then different things or different places trying to figure it out and trying to not copy someone else's work, even though it's the winning formula. And that's the thing, is if you want to be successful in Battle Royale, you have to do what Fortnite did and went, I'm going to copy everything you've done that's good and then add my own stuff. Because PUBG didn't miraculously come up with Battle Royale that worked. PUBG took 5 years of learning from Battle Royale as a community and put it into a game and built on it, and took that forward. Ubisoft doesn't go, how can we learn from communities in games? How can we take community learnings and put it into our next video game? They go, who else has learned something from communities and how can we copy them? You're late to the party. By default, you are 5 years late if you're copying someone that's doing something now because they started 5 years ago. You didn't. So yeah, Ubisoft fingers in too many pies. That's what they've said, not us. That's what the article said. Should I say, not us? I agree with it entirely, and I hope Ubisoft and Yves Guillemot do give us some absolute bangers because they're overdue. They are overdue, and yeah, hopefully they do that. Moving ahead, Hideo Kojima is working on, well, funnily enough, his own game. Joshua Robertson at The Gamer says, Kojima confirms recording on Stranding 2 has begun. It's not really news, this, so we'll probably go through this one quickly because it was kind of obvious, seeing as it was announced like last year. But okay, we'll go through it anyway. Joshua Robertson at The Gamer thinks it's big enough to be covered. We'll cover it. Development on Death Stranding 2 is ramping up. So Death Stranding 2 is officially in the works, and while Hideo Kojima has talked quite a lot about the game's script and how it came to be and the people involved, but we still don't really know much about how far along in development it actually is. Despite being announced during the Game Awards last year, we still don't have a release year either, meaning it could be years before we see the game actually hit store shelves, which is madness. However, Hideo Kojima has given us the briefest of looks behind the scenes via his Japanese Twitter account, Thanks Games Radar, revealing that the recording for Death Stranding 2 has officially begun. Kojima has shared 4 behind-the-scenes pictures for fans to comb over. The first being an image of a door to a recording room. We also get an image of a fancy facial capture headset, Leia Seydoux in a recording booth, and a Death Stranding 2 crew member working on something. Nice. Something. Death Stranding fans have unsurprisingly been doing what they do best, and that being to pore over every single detail, no matter how dull, and try to get some sense of what Kojima is cooking. There's even one fan who's managed to spot an extremely blurry screen which seems to depict a character of some kind, but whether it's from Death Stranding 2 or something else entirely is quite literally impossible to tell. What we can speculate on is what this means in terms of development. If voice actors as big as Leia Seydoux are still recording lines for the title, we can safely assume that it's fairly early in development. Voice lines are usually sorted first, with the bulk of development coming after, so the recent reports of the game launching in 2024 could be accurate, though a 2025 release date it definitely isn't out of the question. For now, all we can do is wait for the next batch of pictures shared by Kojima and hope there's something a little bit more substantial in those. Thoughts, Bibi?
It's kind of inevitable that was going to get one. Any kind of Kojima news is huge news, which is probably why this article has been written, because I know it's going to get clicks and people like us are going to cover it. But I mean, I wasn't really a fan of what the first one looked like, so the chances of me playing this one are even slimmer. But still, again, happy for you, bro.
Yeah. No, I mean, it has been played through on the channel. I was going to say we've played through it. We haven't played through it. For those of you that are long-time followers of the channel, you may remember Josie. If you're more newer, you've been around for the last couple of years, you won't remember Josie. But Josie was part of Team Ice Cream for a good while, and she played through Death Stranding in its entirety on the channel. Loved it. And so did a lot of the people that were watching, and so did a lot of other people around the world. It just goes to show you, though, that that phrase, too big to fail, it definitely is something that's impossible in video games. Even the biggest things can fail. But when you've got Hideo Kojima behind you, you are as close to being too big to fail as you possibly can be. Like, the fact that I didn't even realize we didn't have a launch year for Death Stranding 2. I've seen that much of it on my timeline. I do follow Hideo Kojima on Twitter, on both accounts, English and Japanese, so that's probably why. But I've seen that much of it on my timeline consistently that I genuinely could have believed it would have come out in the next few months. Genuinely. I thought, oh, okay, I know it was announced last year, but busy couple of months and so on, you instantly think the December announcement was actually the year before or something like that. Time flies and it gets lost in your brain. Did not even realise. What? They've not even finished it.
This is one of the things, like, you said it was too big to fail. Like, people will look at that and go, it's a bit weird, isn't it? But it's Kojima, innit? Like, he's just got an instant pass. Like, they know his past is so weird with the way that his brain works and the amount of detail that he goes into specific things, the most monotonous things, he will take so much time and effort to try and make probably as little sense as possible, but something that will maybe amuse him or might tickle a few Kojima fans. But
like, I would say I get
so
probably
weird.
80% of his stuff. There's 20% of it, and I'm like, even, I mean, as a big Kojima fan, even that I'm kind of lost on. There's some people get it all, and fair play to you if you do. But like some of it, I'm just thinking that is fucking class, genius. The example I've mentioned on the scoop a few times before, and it's a very simple example because it's easy to visualize even without looking at it. The start of Ground Zeroes, you are heading into the camp, which is like a prison. And it's dark, it's raining, there's chopper lights flying over, so you can picture all that nice and easy. There's all sorts of guards, people in jeeps, and so on. There's a song that was matched perfectly to it. I think it was Here's to You, it was called. It was great. Dogs barking and shit. And it's only afterwards when I saw Kojima explaining that the camera is all at like hip height, and that's because he wanted it to come in from the point of view of a dog, like bringing you into it, and went on to explain that, and it's just like, it's weird, but it works. It makes sense. I see where you're coming. That stuff I get. Like there's some weird, like Tito says, the freaking babies weirded me out. Yeah, that sort of stuff. If you play through the game, probably makes some form of sense then. But having not played through it, bit weird. Happy for you, mate. Like Bibi says, happy for you, mate. So yeah, if you're interested in Death Stranding and you've played it, Death Stranding 2 is on the way in the next year's TBC. There you go. Nice. Next story, though. A game that's already out, and a game that's exceptionally good, by the way, is Marvel's Midnight Suns, which has Venom DLC, which is out next week. Free trial available now. And there's 40% off the base game. Oosh. Matt Wales at Eurogame has the story, and it says, Firaxis' excellent superhero strategy adventure game, Marvel's Midnight Suns, is preparing to open the Abbey's doors and welcome another new fighter, with its previously announced Venom DLC now confirmed to be arriving next Thursday, 23rd of February. And ahead of that, Publisher 2K has launched another free trial across all platforms, plus discounts on the base game. Venom will be the second DLC character to join Marvel's Midnight Suns' original playable superhero lineup, consisting of Blade, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider, Hulk, Iron Man, Magic, Nico Minoru, Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man, and Wolverine, following on from the addition of Deadpool last month. Venom's DLC release, titled Redemption, includes 3 new story missions continuing on from those seen in Deadpool's DLC, new skins and outfits, plus a new research project known as Whisperweb, said to expand the tactical options for the Intel resource. Redemption will be available to purchase separately or as part of Marvel's Midnight Suns Season Pass, included in the Legendary Edition. 2 more DLC characters, Morbius and Storm, are still to come. Then there's other stuff about discounts and so on. If you want to read that, it's in the article, but we'll stop there. Venom DLC coming to Marvel's Midnight Suns. Do you know what? That's pretty straightforward. That's not the question I'm going to ask you, because it's kind of, is that cool? Yeah, it's cool. Nice. Question I'm going to ask is, we've got Deadpool DLC already hitting that brought new content, new missions. We've got Venom DLC already hitting, bringing new skins, new outfits, a new research project known as the Whisperweb, and is said to expand on tactical options for the Intel resource. So it's changing the shape of the game as well as adding new content to it, not long after the previous DLC had hit. Is this an example for how, not looking at you, Avengers, other Marvel games or all future Marvel games, future DC games should be looking at approaching longer term content? Thoughts, babe?
Potentially. I don't believe that this game is being spelled as a live service game, but at this moment in time, it's nearly difficult to argue against it. Like, this game has had, are going to have 2 massive DLC packages being stuck on the end of this this storyline, but it's almost making me think, okay, well, how are they going to make another one? Like, they're already going through different. I mean, the storylines can completely change. Like, the characters don't particularly have to go down the same route every single time. But I'm struggling to think of how they can evolve on this going forward. I don't mean like adding more DLC and things like that. That's at this moment in time, considering it keeps on selling, they can carry on churning this out. But in terms of a Marvel Midnight Suns, are they going to have a Midnight Suns 2? Are they going to have Midnight Suns and then, I don't know, : whatever, Reborn, Revolution, bleh, whatever. That's how you end up keeping it on. But I don't know where they're going to go from this, like, because this is a huge success for them.
Yeah.
Like, this is probably one of the best things that they're going to, for the Firaxis team, it's probably one of the biggest things they're going to work on. And they own XCOM. Like, that's not a shit IP to be working on. Like, that game sells games through the ass. Like, it's a money spinner. But this is, I don't know the sales numbers in comparison, but this has to be close. Like, this is a juggernaut now.
Yeah.
So I don't know where they end up going from this. Like, this is a fantastic foundation, but how do they move on from it? Like, what's the next step for them?
Good question. For me,
yeah, it's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, I would like to see them get through the game, have exceptional content in Morbius and Storm after Venom, and then look at where they stand and go, do you know what? We don't just have to have the game that Graham wants. A Marvel's Avengers huge single-player story game that's an action-adventure like Spider-Man, like Wolverine or whatever. We can have different Marvel games and still smash it. Tito says, "Babe, what's your verdict on it?" I haven't got into it as much as I thought I would. I mean, that's kind of where I was coming into it. Whilst like the people that enjoyed XCOM, that I have an eye on superheroes that I'm aware of, absolutely love this game. They may not. There may be an element of that. People maybe haven't played it as much as possible, and I wonder if that is because of, whilst there's still huge characters in there. Midnight Suns is. I mean, I'm a Marvel person, but I'm not a comics person. So, yes, I have heard of Captain America, Blade, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider, Hulk, Iron Man. Magic, I'm like, okay, maybe I have. Nico Minoru, no idea. Scarlet Witch, yeah. Spider-Man, yeah. Wolverine, yeah. Deadpool, yeah. So I know the majority of those names, but I don't know what Midnight Suns is. I know enough to know that it's not Midnight Suns with a U in the comics. It's an O in the comics. But I don't know anything about it. So that whole thing kind of changes it to me. Then you take it away from a single-player story version, action-adventure, over-the-shoulder TPP sort of game, and suddenly it starts to drop off. So I think the thing that they need to do is sell more of the game and the benefits of that style of game as opposed to just the Marvel bit. Because I imagine a lot of people, not necessarily you, Tito, I don't know if you played XCOM, you might have done, but a lot of people will come into this and expected that the big bombastic Marvel game, and then seeing that it's not just that. There is a great story within that, and there is some cool action and stuff, but it's not just a beat 'em up or a hack and slashy sort of tie-in. It's more strategic as a platform. What's the genre of XCOM? What would you class that? What?
I'd always go with tactics, but I don't actually know the genre that it would come under. Like, I know the game. If you look at it, you'd know the game style, but I don't know the specific terminology for it. I probably should know that, considering I played a million of them.
Well, I feel like whatever the, I mean, I'll let you find that out. Whatever the style is, like Tito says, he's a strategy nerd.
Tactical role playing. Yeah, turn-based strategy. There you go.
There you go. Tactical role playing, turn-based strategy, whichever one you want to go for, or all of it. There wasn't as much of a focus on that, but there was a lot of focus on the Marvel stuff, and I feel like you need both bits to ring true, because the Marvel fans are going to come into it, and your tactical role-playing turn-based strategy game are going to want to isometric turn-based strategy game. It was isometric was the word that I was looking for. So fans of isometric games are going to want that to be like a core part of the marketing and strategy and so on. Whereas I feel like this was more marketed towards me as pushing your character living in the abbey with the other characters and building in a world that goes, rather than the isometric strategy. And I feel like maybe that was a tactical decision to for want of better words, dupe people in. It's not the word I want, but to focus on selling the characters. Because what if not? I mean, why are you paying for the IP for all of these characters when you got Firaxis? If you just wanted to sell an isometric story game, just sell XCOM again, XCOM 3 or whatever we're up to now. Just sell the next one of those rather than these. So maybe it's something like that. Maybe that's the reason it didn't ring true, because it was a great strategy game, but that relied heavily on the Marvel stuff, but didn't kind of meet the two in the middle as much as it needed to. Maybe, I don't know. Either way, it's still been doing very well. It's definitely done better well in terms of critical reception than Marvel's Avengers, which obviously has now been sunsetted. But like Bibby said, this is not a live service game, but they've had more content already than a live service game did. Which is, that's a big GG. That is a GG. So if you are playing this game just for your own enjoyment, there is more content coming, plus 2 more bits after that. Nice. But now, though, let's jump into our final news article. Are you guitaring there, babe, or what we're saying?
I mean, I can do. I mean, last week we ripped it up with a Guitar Hero guitar, so we'll go back to the normal one. My 5-string should be 6-string guitar because I broke one of them.
Whoops. Well, for the last time this week, we've got one story, and as we do every week, we finish up with a little segment that we like to call
Free Game Friday.
You definitely tell there's a string missing on that now.
Why? I usually play it so well, Graham.
So yes, this story, I mean, I'm just used to the exclamation mark FF in the chat. It's just on point. God damn. This story is written by Morgan Pack and the team at PC Gamer. It says, what's free on the Epic Game Store right now? And I can tell you, outside of the holidays, Epic sticks to a weekly schedule for handing out freebies, so keep an eye out for each week's new free choices. Nice. And this is the bit that we update you on. So the Epic Game Store, what's free until February 23rd? It is War Pips. So War... What is it good for? Wow, they knew what I was recording fucking yesterday. Nice. So, okay, let me start again. War. What is it good for? Pips, presumably. Or maybe it's the opposite. I'm unclear exactly what the pips factor in with this week's Epic freebie, but what I do know, War Pips is a tug-of-war lane-based RTS inspired by StarCraft mods like Nexus Wars. Good news for those of us who never fully got our heads around RTS micromanagement. Here, the physics-based combat is a big-picture affair. Leave your APM anxieties at home and focus on the things that matter, like your suites of army customization options. So, War Pips, do you know what? The only thing I will say is Megan, or Morgan even. Is it Megan? Morgan? Morgan, yeah, it is Morgan. Morgan Park at your PC Gamer. That was too overwritten. That was a fucking hard read, that one. Because there was all of your genre jargon of like your lane-based RTS, RTS micromanagement, APM anxieties, and all that sort of stuff in there that I don't even know what War Pips is. Just tell me. Don't. It's difficult to try and be creative with just one paragraph, but there you go. War Pips is the free game. It was free from about 4 p.m. last night in the UK, and it will be free until about 4 p.m. next Thursday, so do feel free to jump on that. Next week, it will be replaced by a game called Duskers. Nice. Good week content, that bit.
It is a fantastic week of content, Graham.
Did we get 5 episodes in this week?
We most certainly did.
Oof.
2 weeks in a row now.
Oof, you'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. Also, we will get 2 more streams in. So it'll be another week of 7 days worth of content. I'll be live tomorrow, 10 a.m.-ish, with the boyos playing some PUBG on the channel. We will be chasing crates with Mace. And then 10 a.m. on Sunday, I can't even say the ish because it's not my stream. So I've got to be on at 10 a.m. on Sunday to jump in with 12 while we do some chasing mans with pans. There we go. Let's go.
How's your back?
It's as strong as it's ever been. Well, it needs to be because 12.
Oh, I was just talking about carrying this bloody ICU, your stream channel for the last week or so.
I thought you were setting me up to talk about 12. Same.
No. Balls to 12. Do you know what I mean? No, balls to him.
No, that's the thing. I thought you was like meaning I needed to carry him because he's not that good. I thought I was sticking the boot in, but
that goes without saying, Graham. That no words are required for that.
When someone does something nice for charity, it's your prerogative to make them look silly as possible before they get into it. I mean, we know they're good people, but we can't just say that openly, can we? I mean, we can, but we then have to say 5 bad things to counter it. It's just we're blokes. Yeah, it's what we do. I love you, wankers. I take it back. I love you too.
That's what we love to see.
Yeah, nice. So yeah, we will be live tomorrow. Well, I will be live. Bibby won't. Bibby said, fuck these guys that follow and view and sub to our channel and all that stuff. That's what he said. It's what he said. No, it might not have been what he said, but it's what I heard anyway.
No, confirmed.
Yeah, oh, fine. Nice. So yeah, 10 a.m. tomorrow, 10 o'clock on Sunday. 2 Sunday morning streams playing PUBG. Tomorrow will be fun times doing whatever. Sunday will be interesting. We're trying to win some games with nothing but pans. Well, I've not even decided whether we're going to even use those pans or whether it's just for decoration because it sounds like pancifist. We'll figure it out as we get into the stream. So do feel free to check us out. Do feel free to check out 12. Obviously, let me Fungo pop the stream again. He will be streaming from 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. I actually got it wrong. Boom. Yo! He actually said he's going to be up from 1 a.m. So 12 in I don't know what time is it now, nearly 5. So yeah, a number of hours is going to be up to go to work. In just over 24 hours, he will start a 24-hour stream. Madness.
No, not a chance. Get that. You're going to need to have like an hour kip in between all of that. There's no way. Like 48 hours. No chance.
Do you know what? Do you know what's going to make it even worse? Not only is he getting up at 1 a.m., and then, 7:30 should have said, not 8. 7:30 is starting. So not only is he getting up early for that, he's also planning to drink on his stream too. He is full on gonna be just drooling. He's gonna be drooling in his chair, head back, mouth open, catching moths.
So how's that moth?
Yeah, exactly. Who? I've just put his link in the chat. 12head. God, if you guys up a little bit, 12head. Make sure you go check him out. Nice. Before any of that happens, though, it's going to be a shit. It's going to be a shit show. No, it's going to be a great show. It's going to be a shit show for you, but it's going to be a great show. Before any of that happens, though, we are going to disappear. We are going to drop in a raid on Paul, as mentioned, Paul2707, his last ever stream on Twitch until he gets the bug for it again. But he's a Twitch partner in the UK.
Size of this moth.
Size of this moth. It lives about 10 minutes away from us, from the studio, should I say. But he's giving it up. He'll be back. But we might as well, if he is never back, we might as well see him off with some good times, some good love. But before that happens, anything you want to add, Mr. Bib?
Yeah, again, thank you very much for joining us for another 5 episodes of The Scoop this week. We very much appreciate it. But if you want to help shape the remaining 5 shows as of next week, there's 2 ways you can do so. First of all, find us on social media. This is at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms, or alternatively, get involved with our Discord. You know the drill by now. Ice Cream Uploads across absolutely everything, but all we need from you is a URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show on Monday. At what time, though, Mr. Graham Day?
10 a.m. Ish. So, yeah, we'll be live at 10 a.m.-ish. on Monday, so do feel free to drop in and see us. It's probably not going to be that. Oh, what a finish! Strong finish. Phony Asteroid throwing down his 8-month sub. Thank you very much, P Honey. Love you. I love you. Even noticed that I said it, but Baby didn't.
I said I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that.
Question, Bib.
Yes.
Has Paul finished his stream?
Well, this is it, because I'm trying to find it myself, and I can't find it. I thought it just it had fallen off somewhere, but it looks like his stream has gone off and he's not online. So that 12-hour stream went really well.
Great. Unless he started a million hours ago. No, he's on.
He was meant to be midnight tonight.
I don't know. Maybe he's got in there like me. 12 Ed. Nice. 12 Ed gifting Alpha, Rebecca Cope, Redondle, Cookies, hey, and AKA Pride, all getting gifties. Thank you very much, 12. Beautiful man, I appreciate that. Starting a hype train up almost before we're finishing. All right, settle down. We've already had 5 gifties from each in the stream as well. But we appreciate it. Thank you very much, 12. You didn't need to do that, though. You could have kept that, thrown that down on yourself in your own stream, or for the charities and stuff. By the way, if you do have some cash, whilst I'm saying that, if I'm telling you to watch our stream, I'm saying you don't need your cash. You don't have to sub. But while you're watching 12 stream this weekend, if you do have some cash, do feel free to actually spend money, because he is doing a charity stream, and that's what it's all about. You don't have to. It's there for everyone's viewing pleasure, but it's about exposure and fundraising and raising awareness and stuff. So if you do have a couple of quid you can spare, do feel free to throw some down on his charity stream. I know that we will be doing exactly that this weekend, so hopefully everyone else does too. Plus, you can win yourself a PS5. He's got a sealed PS5 that he's giving away.
Ooh, baby.
I'm definitely a charitable person. When I give up to other people's streams, I definitely say, do you know what? If I win, re-roll it. If I get a PS5, fuck those other guys. It is mine. It is
That's
mine.
That's sheets in the old skyrocket, that.
Yeah, baby.
Get it?
Nice. I've told 12 that as well, by the way. Just telling you. Just telling you. I mean, there's also Five Guys food vouchers. I'm not giving those up either. I'm keeping those. You don't get this figure without Five Guys food vouchers. That's all I'm saying.
Keep the SpongeBob socks. Get that re-rolled. I'll keep the Five Guys vouchers.
So yeah, there you go. 12 will be streaming this weekend. What the fuck? Woof! I just refreshed Paul's stream to see if he was live. He's not, but he's got one of those recommended streams. Check out this guy who's just got the loudest game in the world. So we'll leave that alone. Shit my pants. So yeah, check out 12 this weekend. We're gonna go. We'll see if there's another one of our friends to raid if Paul's not on. But do feel free to check out Paul if he might be back on before midnight this evening. So drop in, say hi. From us that have yourselves a beautiful weekend. I'll see you 10 a.m. in the morning. Bibby will see you 10 a.m. ish on Monday morning. Until next time. Stay free.